it is. Thank you so much, Kyle and Sam. I'm so excited to have you here, and I'm excited to be here. As mentioned, my name is Charbunny, and we are going to be playing Super Mario Maker for the Nintendo 3DS. It came out on 3DS if you didn't know that. And something special about that is that Nintendo put 100 new levels onto here. Normally we play them out of Super Mario Challenge, but we're going to be doing them out of Core Spot for a reason we'll explain shortly. First, though, I have a wonderful couch with me. Would the two of you like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. Hi, I'm Lizzyberry, the Lizziest of all the berries.
My name is Bobbeigh. I love Mario. I just love Mario so much that I have this little reference sheet. Who loves Mario up there? They love Mario. I love Mario, and that's why I'm here.
Well, that's good, because we're going to get a lot of Mario. The category we're doing is SMC any % no auto, meaning we're playing the levels that came with the game, these 100 ones built in by Nintendo. But we're going to be playing fewer than 100 because we're skipping all the auto scrollers. That's right, no auto scrollers. We're just doing jam-packed back-to-back action. Now, a downside here is you miss out on the story of the game, and I know that's heartbreaking to everyone in the audience. So we're going to summarize the story for you in 3 words. Ready? Princess?
Peach?
Kidnapped.
Good. You're all caught up. You know the story now. Great. Now with that, let's go ahead and get started. We'll kick it off with level... I was about to start splitting levels. I'm on stage. We're going to kick it off with level 1 in 3, 2, 1, go! Let's do this. All right, so this game is super fun because in addition to trying to create a fun game to play, Nintendo really focused in on trying to make a game that would teach you how to play Mario and how to create Mario levels. Now, this may look familiar. I am playing Mario Maker and not the original Mario Brothers game, but that's because this level is so great at teaching the player how to play Mario, and before you can make levels, you have to be able to beat them. So this is our nice introductory level. Also teaches us that copy-pasting is A-okay in the Mario universe. You can do that. Our next level will look a little bit different. That's where we start to get into more of the Mario Maker side of things. Crowd, what are some things you think of when you think of Mario Maker? Let me hear them. I heard Luigi. Sadly, Luigi's not in this game. We got Weird Mario instead, which is such a downgrade. But what we start to get to here instead is enemies stacked on top of other enemies, because of course you could do that. The game allows it. We also start to get to dev exits. Look at this secret path up to the top of the screen. Bet you haven't seen that in a Mario Maker level before. But something that's fun is you'll see these doors up here. Now, doors were not in the original Mario Brothers game. Those weren't invented yet. And so here is where you start to see that Nintendo's taken all of the different things they've added to Mario over the years and put them in all of these classic level modes, so you can use them even with different themes. Now, there are 4 themes in the game: Original Mario Brothers, SMB3, SMB World, and New Super Mario Brothers U, which is what we're going to see next. Now, something important with New Super Mario Brothers U is it is the base game for this game, meaning all of the physics are based off of that game mode. So our run speed, our jump height, all of that is consistent with New Super Mario Brothers U. Something else is we can spin jump in this game mode. So depending on what game mode we're in, we will get slightly different movement abilities, including things like this spin jump and this air twirl here, which we'll talk more about later. So not every Mario is built the same, but it's fun that we get to use quite the variety of them throughout the course of this run. Our next level is our first castle level with a classic enemy, Bowser. Now, most of this game is pretty RNG free. Mario's a very consistent run. However, Bowser likes to mix that up and just give us a bad time. So while at the beginning of the level, we're gonna have fire bars on global cycles, not too much to worry about there because we've got set patterns we're focused on. As we get towards the end, Bowser can just make our day absolutely worse. What we're hoping for is no low fireballs. Any other pattern's fine. Low fireballs are the worst. So let's see what we get. Oh, of course we get the first low one. Classic. Oh, well, we'll need to do it again. So this is complete RNG. That is the worst pattern you can get because that's the one we're not trying to do. What we try to do there is we try to land as far to the left of that platform as possible, which gives us the maximum amount of time to react to all these different patterns. See, this pattern is free. Why did Bowser do that the first time?
There we go.
There we go. First Bowser down, first death out of the way. We're making progress on the game. With that, the first world is done. There are 18 worlds we're going to be playing through, a varying number of levels per world, but this is going to bring us into World 2, where we're going to learn how to swim. So again, the first part of this game is really teaching the player how to play Mario, because until you can play Mario, you can't make levels for him. So swimming is a part of that. This level also adds something interesting in starting to showcase how you can make levels creative that aren't just the platforming side of things. So we have all this pixel art in this level, showcasing different enemies, power-ups, things like that. And these make for an interesting obstacle course. We're essentially trying to take these little racing lines through these sections so that we're not bonking into platforms, but we're cutting as close to these corners as possible. That Goomba was in a very nice spot. It is random there as well. We have underwater Goombas, by the way, because of course that's a thing we get in this game. But while we're navigating to the end of this level, I want to quickly check in. How's the Save Kill Yoshi bid we're doing? Are we killing Yoshi yet? Please tell me we're killing Yoshi.
We are definitely not killing Yoshi yet. Save Yoshi in front with 824.50. Kill Yoshi behind 623.
No. We need to kill Yoshi. Yoshi is evil and has ruined a ton of speedruns for me. I really need to take my revenge on this guy. But we have some time on that one. So as we get into 2-2, Bobby, how about you talk about this one?
Sure, so as you might have seen with every level we select, we start off as like base or small Mario, so any unnecessary power-ups that we might accidentally collect will not be applied on a new stage, and that'll result in an eventual time loss. But in 2-2, it's actually really important to grab this leaf item. Now in SMB3, you do have a meter that you have on the top left corner of the screen. Once you fill that P speed out, you can do some twirls and jump to gain height. This level will actually teach you that there might be some secrets that you can do. You have this P switch, and we'll activate it in order to make an easier pathway through the exit pipe.
There we go. Yeah, the flying there is very fun. This is earlier than we're kind of supposed to find this power-up. We'll talk more about flying as we get to World 4, which is the flying world. But for now, we're back in World 2, and again, really focusing on these different movement options, borrowing some of those classic Mario levels that really were setting up how to play movement, how to do movement in Mario. Our next one is also a nice throwback one. Something interesting to note here is that because of the physics differences in this game and some of the item restrictions, even though these levels may look the same as classic Mario levels, we cannot necessarily copy the speedrun strat. So Nintendo got to copy things we don't. So for example, here we're gonna pick up a Koopa. That will look really weird if you've played this level as a speedrun in any of those other games, but it's because you actually just cannot get through that pathway unless you kill something along the way. So that's the fastest way to do it. And shout outs to these singular moving platforms at the end. Infinite platforms are not available in this game, so we kind of have to make do with what we can get. Stair jump! Stair jump! Sorry, that's the one thing.
Good job.
Pop off for that.
I wasn't gonna bring it up because you so rarely get them, but I go for it every time. So that's awesome. I could check that off my little bucket list. All right, that brings us into 2-4, which is a pretty scary level. So Lizzie, how about you talk about P-switches?
Sure, I will absolutely talk about P-switches. What we have here is the P-switch palace, as I like to call it. This game is trying to teach you all about the various things of how to play Mario. So in this instance, it's what P-switches do. And as you see, it turns coins into blocks and blocks into coins. What that does is that sort of sticks Char into this one specific spot until the timer is done. So we have a little downtime here until she moves through the pipe. The next thing is that P-switch is on a random timer because it's not, it doesn't load in when the game loads in. It loads in once she goes through the pipe. So it's randomized whether she actually gets to use it or not. She grabs it and she takes it all the way up to the top and jumps all the way through so she can land in that pipe.
Well.
The P-switch jump too, which is another really fun trick. It's not super time saved, but it feels awesome to get random Kaizo tricks throughout the run.
That's basically the hardest part of the level at this point. She's just on free run, just gotta get through all of these, hit all those fun little rainbows, and jump over Bowser so that she can clear him out of the way.
Another Bowser down.
No. Yeah, thankfully this Bowser is also RNG, but we jump high enough over him that it doesn't matter. So there's certain elements of this game that are RNG, but are not meaningfully tricky, so we don't have to worry about the patterns there. And that's 2 worlds down. We're already cruising through this game. If you want to meet that World 19 incentive, by the way, you better donate fast because we're doing pretty well so far. Kyle, how's that going? Can you give us a quick check in there?
Yeah, I was going to say, you said there were 18 worlds, but we really know there are 19. And if you all do your job, we're going to see them, like Sir Kai, who donates $5 and says, let's get more Mario Maker and more Charbunny.
Well, we get more because I died. So we get the beginning of this level again. This one is like a weirdly precise jump. So in these levels where they're really more about running to the right and jumping, your goal is to just not slow down. But that means that if you're really not slowing down, you're taking some pretty precarious jumps around some of these enemies. And on these platforms, they are moving to the left when we get to them. So our goal here is to jump off them just at the edge so we can try to make it across those gaps without slowing down. This one always gives me a heart attack, so on stage nerves, that was bound to happen, but that's okay. We're good to go on that one. Actually, you know what? I'll donate $10 per death. Let me just throw that out there right now, but I'll need hosts. Can you help me keep track of how many times I die? Because I will lose track.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, thank you. Teamwork up here on the desk. This next one is another what we call hold right and run level. So right and run levels mean that there's really not too much that we have to optimize in terms of left to right movement. As long as we're holding the right button and the run button, all we're really doing is timing jump buttons. It turns into a bit of a rhythm game. For all these levels, I have visual cues on exactly where I want to be jumping. The jumps are pretty generous, but it helps me to be more consistent, to have specific spots I'm looking out for. So for example, right underneath that vine lands you on top of that stack of enemies every time. That's just for swag. Why not? We got nothing better to do there. That brings us into what will be the final level of World 3 because we are going to skip 3-4. 3-4 would be our first auto-scroller in the run, but again, we're not doing those auto-scrollers. Don't need to do them. Haha, they're gone. In this one, we do have a bit of a throwback, but this will introduce a new item, which is the star power-up. Now, if you've seen a Mario game before, I'm sure you know that that means it makes you invincible, but that's not actually why we need this item. Instead, we're gonna take a bit of a time loss here to pick it up, but it's because we move so much faster with the star that it actually saves time over the course of the run to pick it up, even with that little slowdown there at the beginning. It does make the ending jumps a little bit more complicated because we're moving so quickly that we've got to get through them, But there we go, we're good to go. And that brings us into World 4, which is gonna be our world teaching us how to fly. Now, there are 3 different flying power-ups over the course of this game. One for each of the themes that isn't the first Mario Brothers. The first Mario Brother didn't know how to fly yet. It's very tragic. But we're not actually gonna pick up the power-up in this level because if we jump just really well, we don't need it. You'll kind of see how the game decides to entice us in. This is slightly different than the original, if you've seen that before, and maybe this Koopa made a few friends among the years as we got to this version of the game. And that's sort of designed to try to make you go back and get the leaf power-up to fly over them or take out those enemies. But if you just jump really well, you don't have to worry about that. We do have to pick up our next power-up, however, that is going to be SMW's classic cape power-up, which is something you've definitely seen before if you've seen those speedruns. Now, most of this cape comes down to pick it up, get in the air, and just don't fall down, which is thankfully a pretty straightforward set of mechanics. There's a lot more trickiness to cape mechanics, but they don't really play a part in this speedrun. So since we're just gonna be cruising at flying altitude here, host, how about we go back over to you, see how things are going?
Yeah, things are going pretty good. We're at $3,700 out of the $15,000 needed for that World 19 showcase, so keep those coming in. Helping along with that is $250 from JoJo Story, who says, save the Yoshi. Also, Charbunny's commentary is amazing, playing the game fast and spitting out facts. What can't she do?
Aw, thank you. You got time for a few more if you'd like.
Excellent. And $50 from Buddy Cthulhu, who says, a Yoshi's greatest honor is to die for Mario. Who are we to deny him? Hashtag expendable Yoshis.
That person's got the right idea. Awesome.
Excellent.
I think Gorilla Fast agrees with him with $50, saying, so cool to see Char speedrunning. Best of luck and kill Yoshi.
Thank you so much. Awesome, appreciate it, Gorilla Fast. We're getting into a more complicated flying power-up. This is the propeller. Bobby, can you tell everyone how this one works?
Yeah, so the propeller is this series NSMB flight item. So you can use a spin jump to gain incredible height, but at the apex of that height, you'll eventually slowly fall and slowly progress in the air afterwards. So the key to optimizing travel time is by timing and spacing these jumps, minimizing the floaty downtime as much as possible. And you have this ground pound that can get you to the floor quickly and even like blow through stacks of enemies like you saw Char do right there. But you can't move left or right, so it's gonna be a lot of deliberate timing here. So in this room, it's gonna employ some of this movement tech to not get crushed by that crusher and spin jump to that exit pipe really splendidly there.
Yeah, now we're setting up a triple jump, trying to get through these enemies. We're going to take an intentional damage boost here. There's no real way to avoid them. I clipped the bullet bill launcher, so slight delay there. And here we're trying to just barely land on these platforms to give us a little bit of extra movement. Here we can, with a well-timed triple jump, get over this stack of enemies if I line it up correctly. Oh, just barely. This one is just such a tight window. You have to land on the left edge of every single platform. But here, one bounce off of this should get us enough height to get to this platform without having to spin down. And now we're out of this level nice and cleanly, which is a relief. Now, I mentioned there's 4 levels in Flying World, but only 3 flying power-ups. So what are we gonna do in the 4th level? Well, it turns out there's a movement tech called twirling. I know, very fancy name. And if you do that in New Super Mario Bros. U theme, which is the only theme where it's allowed, you actually halt your downward momentum just slightly, and that lets you go across gaps much wider than you could normally otherwise cross. Now, once again, this is a heavily tutorial level like the other ones we've been seeing. You can tell because there's going to be coins everywhere. So if you see the coins in a line, that's gonna be indicating that the game wants us to twirl. Now, for the most part in this tutorial, we can kind of follow that. This one's a little bit more straightforward than some others will be, but you'll see us in later tutorials starting to go, you know what if we just freestyle this? What if we did speedy stuff? The main optimization in this particular level is going to be this platform over here. We want to land on it as soon as possible, get to the left and get a little bit of speed to get up to this pipe pretty quickly. And then we see Bowser again. We haven't seen him in a little bit. He brought his kid this time. It's bring your kid to work day, I guess. But once again, we're just gonna kind of jump over them and drop them into the lava, so bye.
How could you drop Bowser and his kid into the lava?
I touched the axe. Sorry.
I don't.
That.
I don't know what I don't know what to think about this.
What? What's going through your mind right now?
Are you secretly evil?
What? Okay. Where's this coming from? Sure, I dropped Bowser into the lava, but like, come on.
And his kid. It was just take your Bowser Jr. to work day.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
The Koopas have a chance to get revenge because I'm going to try a dumb trick in this level that only works like a third of the time for me. But you know what? Speedrunning, let's go for it anyway. Bobby, do you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, this is a really common trick in like most Mario fan games and like, you know, the Kaizo games that you might have seen in like GDQs. If you line this up correctly,
not quite.
Shell jumping is hard. Like whether you do it in midair, whether you line up via the ceiling or in, like a wall, like it has to be precise positioning.
And that one's really dumb because it's not actually a shell jump. It's not a midair. It's throw the shell upward, kick it back in midair, have it hit the wall, and then jump off of it. But it's a tight series of inputs in a short amount of time. Didn't quite land it, that's okay. We're gonna have more opportunities for Kaizo tricks later on. This world, by the way, we're on World 5 now. It's all about springs and sort of item manipulation. So you'll see us in Super Mario World theme a lot throughout this world because that's the one that's the best equipped for item management. Now here we can actually pick up the spring. We couldn't pick them up when they were horizontal, but vertical springs are a-okay to grab. And we're gonna use this to skip the whole level. So there's a level here, so you can just see it down at the bottom. And if I just jump up here, we're done. That was the level. Good to go. You can see a whole bunch of stuff off the left side of the screen. That takes forever to do casually, so it's so nice that we get to skip that in the speedrun. So that's the largest skip we've done so far. Pretty easy one though. Next skips are not quite so easy. So Bobby, how about you talk about 5-3 and all the items there?
Yeah, 5-3, all the items there. We're gonna be skipping about 80% of the items there through a thing I like to call spring cleaning. So, this level will definitely introduce you to a lot of the items in SMW. The first is going to be the spring. We'll try to perform some nifty spring jumps in the stage, so we're going to dive in first to grab the spring right at the top there, which is going to be your companion throughout the entire level. That spring, you have that never leave your side unless you perform a spring jump, which Charles might be able to perform, yeah?
Ah, close. Oh, nope, I get to jump again. Woo, look at that. It makes some fun sound effects, so you get bonus sound effects on this one.
Mind if I give a quick update on your World 19 incentive?
Yes,
Sure.
please do.
We've just hit over $5,000 towards that, so over a third of the way there.
Keep those donations coming in, y'all. Let's see that world.
Please, please,
Incredible,
please.
thank you.
All right, so we got this P-switch that we activate on our way out, and as you saw Char collect that coin, we're gonna carry the effects on over so she can snake her way through this segment where the coins are actually made into platforms. So it's a really speedy way to get through this stage. And we're just gonna be doing a really nice spring jump there
Yeah.
to clear the rest of the item tutorial level.
Here we go.
Yeah, this level's tricky because both spring jumps have different timing because of your momentum, and that last one you have to let go of the jump button, otherwise you'll bonk your head and you'll miss the gold tape cycle. So lots going on there. We do get to skip the next one that would have been 5-4 and auto scroller and jump into 6-1 instead. So we've done a whole bunch with springs. We're not quite done though, and this time is where we would learn that the original Mario brother does not quite have the hand-eye coordination to pick up springs yet. He doesn't learn that until later on. The key thing with springs here though is that they do kill some of your rightward momentum. So as much as possible, we don't actually want to use them. So you'll see all these springs, we're jumping over them. And at the very end of the level, if I set this up pretty carefully, we can do one jump and go underneath. Oh, I didn't quite land. This is so tricky. You can actually go underneath the spring if you time it just right, but if you time it just wrong, you fall into the pit and die. So these are all the tiny little optimizations that we're thinking about as we're playing through this level and really trying to make things go as quickly as possible. 6-2 is also going to be about things that bounce. In this case, it's going to be the note block item. So note blocks let you bounce into air. You cannot pick them up though, and actually enemies can bounce on them as well. So we're going to see a lot of Goombas attempting to become the Wright brothers, but if we're lucky, we can just sort of hit them all on the way over, squash all their dreams, murder them mercilessly, and make our way to the end of the level. It works out just fine.
So you were saying about her being...
Yeah, she might be, see?
I think so. All right, so that's 6-2. 6-3, we're going to skip. That would have been our donut block tutorial, but it's an auto scroller. So we're going to go into 6-4 instead, where I'm going to give Mario a concussion. I am not helping my case, am I? Lizzie, how about you talk about this one?
Yeah, Chad, all of the people here in the audience might recognize this level because it's just right outside of the hotel with all of these ice blocks here. Now, Char is going to be going through all of these little tunnels, and she's going to be jumping along the way because if she's just standing still, she's losing momentum. So if she jumps and gives Mario a concussion, then she's going to go faster, and that's going to get her through the level faster.
Yeah, this is not OSHA certified.
It's
Don't
not
try
OSHA
this at
certified at all.
But it's fast, which is important for a speed run, so we're good to go there. That one's super fun because you're constantly hitting buttons in this game. You just constantly get to do actions. This is why I suck at fighting games, is because I always want to hit buttons. So, thank goodness I picked the platforming genre, which is a much safer
You
one.
gotta duck.
Hey, Char, can I make your day?
Like, I'll challenge my brother whenever he's home, and it's always just like, oh, yep, you caught me at a button again. Look at that. Yes. Oh, come on, up to here. So one of the disadvantages with this is you cannot pick the level if it is at all moving, and so if you're trying to scroll quickly on nerves, then like you just kind of get stuck. But here we go, we get a shell mitt. Lizzie, do you want to talk about shell mitts?
Yes, shell mitts protect Mario. He gets to wear it, and it protects him from anything that's above him. So in this case, Bowser has made his way to Villains R Us and gotten all of the chain chomps available to him and just thrown them all into this level. And Char is going to just absolutely destroy this by just having a shell mitt that the game gives you. How convenient.
Shell mitts are very nice items. That's also some cool chain chomp art. Shouts to chain chomp Brayden. So we got another level in here. I think we're skipping 7-2 if my math is correct. It's not really my math, it's more my memory. There's a lot of levels in this game. But that does mean we get to 7-3, which is pretty straightforward. At this point, we're just using the shell mitt for the next few levels. So, host team, how are we doing? Give me an update here.
Well, you're having too much fun, but I wanted to jump in and make your day because Kill Yoshi has in the lead with a $500 donation from QZ Book, who says, I've been tossing Yoshis into pits since 1990, not stopping now.
All right, save the Yoshi fans. Are you going to put up with that?
No.
Thank you. Get those donations in. Let's Save the Yoshi take the lead again. Get him in.
And how are we doing on that incentive? Do we get to play World 19 yet?
We are at $5,100 out of 15,000, so
Okay,
keep those
all right.
donations coming. Char is going fast, so you don't have that much time.
You do not.
And-
I'm doing my best. Yes, please.
Yeah, and folks, if we meet that World 19 showcase, we are going to breeze right through $200K raised for PCF. So you know you want to be the one to hit that number.
I do, but I'm playing a video game, so I can't donate right now. I'll donate afterwards, I promise. All right, this level's kind of interesting. You're gonna use your Shelmet on offense to kill some of these lava bubbles, but it's got a Bowser at the end, which we don't really care about. When you have a Shelmet, it's a free damage boost. You don't slow down when you take damage, so can easily just cruise right on through that Bowser. But I've been talking a lot, so I do want to give a little bit more time for donations in this next level if the two of you would like to keep going.
Yeah, I don't really want to read this one because I'm a big Save Yoshi guy, but this one's too clever not to read. We've got $10 from Bravest 3mo that says, execute order Yoshi 6. I disagree.
And $25 from Zet, who says, Char,
Zet.
how do you perform an S-tier live run and at the same time deliver S-tier commentary? Let's get that World 19 incentive met.
Aw, thanks. Zed did commentary back when we did a Love 3 race a while ago. I think that was like a couple years ago now. Did a fantastic job. That was such a fun run. So this level, we have a propeller. We're trying not to use it because it's slow, so we're just going to take a damage boost there, use that conveyor to get a bit more momentum and make it to the end of the level that way. Again, propellers are nice and they give you a lot of safety. They're pretty fun casually, but in speedrunning, because they have so much slowdown to them, we try to avoid them when possible. Similar to Yoshi's. They're slow. We try not to use them. They belong in pits. Thank you for putting that in the lead on the bid war. Yeah, we should cheer for that. Okay, oh wait, World 8 is kind of hilarious because half of World 8 is auto-scrollers, so it's 6 levels, but we play 3 of them. This next one is from a game I haven't mentioned yet, so feel free to guess what it is in the chat if you would like to. The big thing we're gonna do here is pick up our next star of the run, because once again, that's gonna let us go super duper fast through the rest of this level. Once again though, since we're moving at quite a bit of increased speed, landing on these platforms and jumping off of them is a very brief time window to make sure we don't fall down, so it takes a little bit more concentration. Crowd, do you know what level that was from or what game that was from? Lost levels! This crowd is a genius. Great Mario knowledge, everyone. I'm proud of you. Give yourselves a round of applause for that. Good job. All right, the next level, 8.5, is the thank goodness we are on Mario Maker 1 physics level. So in Mario Maker 2, a couple things got changed. A big one that people noticed is spike hitboxes got way, way worse. And as you can see, that's something we're gonna be dealing with a lot in this level. So the way this level works is we hit a vine and we use it to climb up and go through these spike sections. Now this next section is supposed to take a couple cycles. We're supposed to go to the left and back to the right. But instead, if we jump up really carefully and carefully hit the right button at the right times, we can do some climbing in that section, barely clear the ending and make it down to the goalpost super cleanly.
Great job.
Thank you. This is one where when you're first running this game, you're gonna die a lot on it. That's just how this level works. But thankfully on stage, we were able to pull that one through. And that brings us all the way to 9.2, 9.6, or 8.6 would have been an auto-scroller, so was 9.1. So now we get to do this level. It has boos in it. I love boos, they're adorable. The big thing at the beginning of this one is just trying to get single frame jumps, or at least as quick of jumps as we can off of those conveyor belts. If the conveyor belt is moving to the left, obviously that's not great for us as we want to move to the right. So jumping as soon as we land can help us avoid that slowdown. This level is just adorable. It reminds me of Luigi's Mansion because we have boos everywhere. We've got the like haunted music going on. There's stuff coming out of paintings. It's just precious. But like most levels that are really around the aesthetics and really set up some of these art pieces, it's a pretty fast one. It's mostly hold right and run outside of that beginning section with the conveyor belts. 9.3 is the opposite of that and one of the most mechanically intensive levels in the game. So Lizzie, how about you talk about this one?
Yeah, 9.3 is when the game teaches us about wall jumps, which can only be done in this new Super Mario Bros. Style of gameplay. So the game gives us all of these leading coin trails to teach us, hey, you can jump here and then jump again. She's gonna do a nice little twirl to avoid those munching plants, and she's gonna make her way over, do a couple extra wall jumps, and wait for this thwomp to come down so she can just make her way up to the top. Now, I did mention earlier that items spawn from pipes are RNG, but that's only if the item spawner is on screen when the level loads in, or when the screen loads in. Because that one is not, she's running and she's following a path, that mushroom spawn is pretty deterministic back there.
Yeah, this level is pretty scary because since we're not following the path, we're definitely not taking the easy route. And this was the level I died on the most in practice. So clearing it in one shot here feels really, really good. With that, we get to go to 9-4. 9-4 is a fun level because if you're doing just individual levels or ILs, you would play this level differently. So I'll kind of show where that is. I'm going to start by climbing up this level pretty high, going all the way to the top of the screen. And look at the pipe up there. There it is. There it goes. Going in that pipe in-game time is actually faster by, oh, we did a Koopa. That's fine. I got distracted talking about the pipe. We'll do this again. So going through that pipe in in-game time is actually about 5 seconds faster. It's quite a bit faster than taking the route that I'm doing. But pipe transitions take 3 seconds each. So to get into the subworld and back out of it, it's a total of 6 seconds overall, which makes it 1 second slower in real time to take that route. So this is a fun level where the in-game time affects how you do the IL, and for real-time runs, full game runs like this one, we do something a little bit different. Gonna quit out of this one. Again, the navigation in this level, or this category, is a lot more complicated. In SMC, normally you just kind of hit next on everything, and here I've actually got to select every single level individually. These next few, though, are gonna be visually self-explanatory, so let's get some more updates from the host desk.
Absolutely. I'm very sad to say that Kill Yoshi is pulling ahead. It's almost $200 ahead of Save Yoshi, please. My people, yeah, people. Whoa, hey, why are we cheering? We've got a $100 donation from my friend Phoblos, who says, how many Yoshis must we senselessly murder before they go extinct? Have you seen a wild Yoshi lately? Save the Yoshi.
And you know what? I'm really convinced that my Kill the Yoshi friends are going to do their job. So I'm going to talk about World 19 instead. I've got $25 from No Warp Zones. He says, this run is too good for it to not be one world longer. Come on, Twitch chat. Let's unlock World 19. Go Charbunny.
And we are sitting at just over 5,300 out of that 15,000. Time is running out. Get those donations in. Put them towards World 19 Showcase. Let's help out PCF, y'all.
Please do. I really do want to show those levels. Something fun about World 19 is it has the shortest level in the entire game. Like, one of the levels we played earlier was, I think, like 9 seconds, 11 seconds. There is a 6-second level in World 19 that is supposed to take 1.5 minutes. So I won't say anything else, but just note that we got some fun stuff coming up there if you managed to get to that point. Our next level, though, is our first platform scroller. And I have to be careful. This is not an auto-scroller. The screen does not move automatically, but it feels like one. So essentially we're stuck with these platforms because there's nothing below us but death, and we can't move any faster than these platforms will allow us to, except for at the end of each section of the level. So for the first part of the level, I really am just kind of chilling with the platform, hanging out, having a good time. But as we get to the end of each section of the level, you can do one big death-defying jump to get ahead of the platform. So here, after 2 of those, I can get a little bit ahead of it. This is sort of our introduction to platform scrollers, so it uses some pretty nice jumps at the end. None of these ones are too terrifying, but we're gonna have some pretty spicy ones coming up later in the run. This is kind of just introducing the concept. So as we're going through here, getting a few more of these in, let's get maybe one more donation from the host desk.
Yeah, I have a message from Yoshi himself. $25. Char, you can sacrifice me if it brings us closer to World 19. I'm nothing if not a team player.
That is the most adorable donation. Thank you, Yoshi. See, even Yoshi agrees with me, crowd. I know I'm right here. All right, so that brings us to the end of World 9, brings us to the beginning of World 10, and World 10's a little bit unnerving. So see, there's normal ways that Mario levels go. There's things that are comfortable, that are normal in Mario games. And this level just has to give us, a bit of a twist, make things a little bit scarier. So it looks normal. It looks normal at the beginning. You're going to watch and go, oh yeah, this is a Mario level. Look at that. Everything's fine. But then we go through this pipe. And when we go through this pipe, we have to go left. Look at this. We're going left. Oh my goodness. Panic. This is
how are we doing
Why
this?
are we going left? This is not the right direction. My button
Oh my
isn't
God.
used to this. My thumb doesn't know how to hit this button. What is going on?
When
I
is
don't
this
like this.
gonna
I don't like this. This isn't correct. This is unnatural. This is horrible. Okay, we're good.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Oh gosh. Okay, Couch, you okay? You two doing all right?
Oh, it
I'm gonna need a minute.
It was
Okay,
touch
okay,
and go
okay.
there.
It is close. Crowd, you all doing okay? I say you two. There's more than 2 of you here. Oh, host desk, you two both survived that section. You're coming through all right?
I'm just trying to come down from the adrenaline.
I know. Horror Block isn't until later this week. Shouts to Bobby being in Horror Block. Yeah. Horror Block's gonna be great. All right, there we go. So we made it through that level. Good job, everyone. This next level, though, this next level. There's a lot of levels in this game, and our next one is going to be about the boot item, which we could have gotten there, but we didn't get yet. So, Bobby, how about you explain this fancy footwear?
Yeah, let's talk about that. There are two types of wearable feet in this game, but we're going to be mainly focusing on this green boot for now. And we picked up a mushroom for a little bit of safety for later on. But boots can ground pound and send some shockwaves down and destroy some enemies. These boots were made for bonking these boos, and that's just what they'll do. And we're also going to be killing those Goombas in that little section to get that key and all of that. But much like sacrificing a Yoshi, what Char's going to be doing is double jumping from the boot and hopefully getting that pipe in. You can do anything with this retrofitted boot, but it's not over yet because there's a bit of an RNG segment which we needed the mushroom to get for, basically. We have these Hammer Brothers right at the end of this level, and it's really, really hard to dodge one of their attacks, as you can see. So the mushroom is plainly for consistency, which is why we slightly go out of the way to grab that mushroom.
Yeah, it's an absolutely worth it mushroom. Also, these boots are made for bonking. It's such a fun word. That's going to be in my head now for the rest of the day. All right, this next level is another throwback level. We're going to go ahead and see the beginning of Mario World. And it's kind of odd that the first level in Mario World is so late into this game. But it's because it introduces a new character, and that would be Yoshi. There he is. Bye, though. We're not going to use him in this level. Not necessary.
Make some noise for Yoshi out there.
Boo.
Hey, hey.
No, getting on Yoshi is a little bit slower, so we are just going to run through this level. It is a right and run. Otherwise, you can do some dumb stuff at the end, but we're going to play it safe and just get the gold tape from the right side because it is RNG. We're just wanting to make it through that one. We will see Yoshi later, though I promise there will be some Yoshi in this game. But for now, that's the end of World 10. Level 10-4 would have been an auto-scroller, so that brings us to 11, which I guess also has a Yoshi. I forgot about that because he's in the level for such a short amount of time. But Lizzie, do you want to talk about this one?
I absolutely will talk about this one. So this is the first time that we really actually get to use Yoshi. You're going to see that she's going to get Yoshi right at the start, and Yoshi's going to pop out because he's just super excited to like hang out and be with Mario. Wait, why are you leaving him?
Yeah, he's gone. We don't need him.
Well,
there he goes. You can wave at him as he runs by.
Well, anyways, Char would like to say that like Yoshi is slow for a lot of reasons. That like he has the little flutter when he jumps, and that's just Yoshi being like working extra hard for the team to get Mario through the stage. And that like when you get on and off Yoshi, there's just a little bit of time, but that's just her having to like get situated, you know? Like it's no big deal. It's not the end of the world. Yoshi's here to help. Like what's the big deal? I don't see an issue in any of it. I think that it's overblown. I think we need to be saving Yoshi in all of this.
I don't, but you have to donate to find out. I don't get to pick whether we save Yoshi. You don't get to pick whether we save Yoshi. I don't know, you might. If it ties, you get to pick. How's that? But the people at home, sorry, I bonked my mic. The people at home are the ones who get to decide what happens to Yoshi, so you better be donating. This next level, though, is another classic SMW level where we get a cape, and then we just don't play the level. So, Host Desk, over to you. How are you feeling about things?
Feeling great. And we really want to get that World 19 showcase met. We're almost $6,000 of the way into that and less than $2,000 from 200K. And helping us out with that are great donations like $50 from Akira Katayama, who says, come on, crew, we have to get this showcase going. Mario Maker levels are awesome. More of them are awesome. Let's remind these people what we can do when we put our minds and wallets to it.
That's right. Get those donations in. Help out PCF. Help out Charbunny. We want to see more GDQ. Let's get them in.
Please do. World 19 is so much fun. Like I said, there's the 6-second level. There's also a Magic Koopa level where we actually have to manipulate the Magic Koopas. There's some fun, spicy stuff that you will not see unless we get there. But this is a fun, spicy thing you do get to see, assuming I can get it right. This has been a struggle. So, Bobby, how about you talk about this particular platform scroller?
Sure, yeah. As you see in this first section of the stage, there are 3 difficulties, from flimsy to fast. So we're going to go into the fast one. That determines the course of the lift and the speed of the lift itself in this room. And not only is there a pit of lava covering this entire room, but it's a very large room, so we'll be here for a little bit. But there are some enemies along the way that are very burdensome, so we'll be using the fireballs that we gathered from the fire flower earlier in the stage to dispose of enemies on the way and set up positioning for this jump, maintaining speed, slowly falling using twirls. It's actually a really, really stellar feat to watch on first try, so I'm going to have her set up for it.
Oh, so close.
That is 1 pixel off. This is a really tricky one because there's these overhangs on the top section. So you have to jump late enough that you go underneath the overhang, but early enough that you hit the lava. Do we think we should give it one more try or just do safe strats?
One more try, chat.
More.
Okay, we'll give it one more try, and then if I don't get it, we'll do safe strats, but I'll at least go for it one more time. The key thing at the beginning is that it doesn't really matter if you get hit here. We don't need the shellmet for anything. It is nice to have this fire flower because we have this Goomba. Killing it with fire gets rid of it in one go. If you jump on it, it spawns 2 mini Goombas, and then you have to deal with those. But here we go, let me set up again. So I gotta line up on this platform, watch where I'm jumping off from. There we go! I will take that second try, That was one of the most recent strats I added into my version of the run. I was terrifying. I was not sure if I'd get that today. So.
It's all of that to get to the easy exit.
Yeah, that's the easy exit. We don't even get rewarded for that. So thank you, crowd, for encouraging me to do it one more time. I appreciate you. All right, now we get into World 12. World 12 is all about Koopa Clown Cars, which is one of my favorite things in the game. Bobby, what do you think about Koopa Clown Cars?
Yeah, these are really cute. You might have seen these clown cars a little bit earlier in Super Mario World as, like, you know, the final boss, Bowser's like on it and all that stuff. And this level will suggest that you use these clown cars a lot, but it's actually a little bit easier to just kind of like, you know, move. Because you're seeing that we have a really floaty omnidirectional movement, but the thing about the clown cars is it's very slow acceleration, very, very hard to steer. And you're gonna be seeing that in a very like hectic section later on in this run.
Exactly. At 12-1's kind of the introduction that you can ride them, enemies can ride them, all those sorts of good things. And in 12-3, we skip 12-2, it's an auto-scroller. It's a cool one, but we're skipping them. We get to learn about a new type of clown car, which is the fire clown car. So normally a small Mario, I cannot shoot fireballs, that's not an ability I have. But here, look, I can make fireballs happen. And if I charge them up, I can actually make a fireball that will go through enemies, which is really nice. And it can destroy blocks. So down here, there's some blocks in my way. We don't want them there, so I'm gonna go ahead and blow them up using a couple fireballs and we can progress. Now, one of the fun things with clown cars is stealing everyone's ride. Part of this like clown car adventure turns into a bit of GTA. We'll really see that in 18-1. But for now, all I have to do is try to get rid of these stupid air bloopers. So air bloopers are awful. They move the exact same as bloopers underwater would. There's another one. Gosh, that's scary. But for some reason, in the air, they're just so much more intimidating. It's like they put on angry eyebrows and just really go for you. They become more bloodthirsty. At this point, though, we're near the end of the level, so all I need to do is jump out early to, again, save a little bit of time over carrying the clown car with me to the end of the level. But this is slightly harder than 12-1, but 12-4 is the next one we're doing. That one gets pretty touch and go. So,
Yeah.
Bobby, how about you talk about this?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, in 12-4, this is what I was referencing a little bit earlier, but you're going to be seeing a lot of the momentum and floatiness of this clown car because we have to weave through these narrow obstacles, taking care of not to hit any geometry so as to not lose control of that clown car. And especially later on in the stage, you don't want to hit any of these spike walls or spike ceilings because you will lose control of the clown car. And if it's a ceiling, you will die. But also, you don't want to be too low because if you're in the lava, that will also reduce the speed of the clown car. So you kind of have to like Char is doing right here, just find a right positioning for it. And like this is probably one of the scarier jumps in this level.
Yeah, we're gonna take that a little safe.
Woo! Little boss AI manipulation. And that's it. Junior is down.
We do kill a lot of Bowsers in this game. We really don't fight that many, like we just kind of run past him. But as Bobby mentioned, we were manipulating his AI, forcing him upwards so that we could go underneath the shells he tosses. Him tossing the shells is always consistent. But we are not done with evil levels. We're now on to World 13, known for its evilness. So Lizzie, how about you talk about this?
This world is absolutely cursed. Have you ever wondered when you go into like a game that has wall jumps, like how far apart the walls can be while you still like make forward progress ahead and just start like going through ever increasingly widening gaps? That's this jump right here. This is the absolute maximum that you can do where you go and you jump and then you do some twirls and you got to have the frame perfect jump to be able to continue to make your way up all the way up this. So she starts off incredibly hard and then she starts making her way through all of these chain chomps that Bowser has bothered to go back to the Villains Are Us for. Or is it Charbunny's Are Us?
Wow.
I don't know,
like
she wants to get rid of Yoshi, and I'm pretty convinced that she's the villain in this story, so she's gonna make her way through the chain chomps into the Gax and out of this world.
Oh, yeah, that one is scary. There's a lot of... The problem is the normal strat you're supposed to do is go get a propeller and use that to climb up the twirl section. And not only is that way easier than doing the twirls, which are very precise, but then you have a safety mushroom, essentially, for the rest of the level. I touched anything, I was dead, so that one's really scary. This one's not, though. This one's just awful. Did you know you could put an escort mission in a platforming game? Because I didn't. Look at this. There's a P-switch, and we get to carefully manage it so it gets to the end of the level by activating platforms. I am going to be doing some, like, speedrun tech where I'm manipulating certain spawns to make this go faster, but it's still going to be slow. So host team, please help us out here.
Absolutely. We are at over $6,500 towards that World 19 showcase. We don't have that many worlds left. We're getting helped along with this $27.76 donation from Unfamiliar Cornball, who says, Charbunny with a 3DS, Mario with rainbows and fireworks, stair jumps and P-switch jumps, yay! Take this money to help defeat cancer. Thank you so much for that donation. If you want to see more Charbunny, are you liking the show so far? That's right, get those donations in. Let's get more Charbunny and maybe more Yoshi.
There
Maybe
might
not.
be a Yoshi in World 19. I'll just put that out there. So if you're a Yoshi fan, then that could be something you donate toward. If you're not a Yoshi fan, then keep killing him, please.
Yoshi fan, really? Can we give a little love to the couch?
Your couch is
Yeah, I got a $25 donation from C. Swan, who says this donation is for Lizzyberry on the couch. I've known her for 15 years, and I'm so proud of everything she's done and accomplished and how she's slayed life's journey. And now look at her on the couch at AGDQ during a Super Mario Maker run. That's no joke. You always did hold the upper hand at poker. I'm proud to call you my friend. Best vibes to you.
Aw, thanks.
That is super sweet. Thank you. Aw, I like how it came in the middle of the evil world too, just for some nice balance. This one is the pirate ship level. It's once again a pretty aesthetically adorable level where we've got all these ships, all this rigging, donut block chains. It is starting to get a little bit scarier though. The early decorative levels were pretty straightforward. This one is still mostly holding to the right and running, but if you fall down, it's very easy to fall through the chains because they're not solid and you can end up in the pit. But thankfully, clear that one without a problem, so we're good to keep moving. Our next one, 13.5, is going to be our next propeller level. Am I at 13.5? Did I skip that? Yeah, 13.4 is an
You
auto
are,
scroller.
yes.
13.5, we're going to do propellers. With the propeller, once again, it's try not to use it, but we are going to have to use it at least a few times to get underneath different obstacles to make progress in the stage. But as we're moving through this, host, another great time for updates on things if you'd like to take over.
Oh, yeah, I've got a $13 donation from Non-Binary Code with a limerick. Charbunny is killing this run. Lizzy Bobbeigh, they're making it fun. But you want to go fast? She gotta kill Yoshi. Give donos till that dino's done. A little loose with the rhyme scheme, but you know, come up with haikus and poems and jokes for us to kill that Yoshi. I believe we can race further ahead on this, and we are so close to 200K.
Who is going to be the donator who gets us to 200K? Get those donations in. Let's get World 19 met. We're at almost $7,000, almost halfway there. Keep them coming. Keep those donations rolling.
Please keep them coming through. Means so much, makes a difference for charity as well. Thank you so much to everyone who has donated so far. And yeah, could be you to break that barrier, who knows? But we got player next level. Bobby, tell us about this one.
Yeah, shout out to Shredberg for that
Yeah, shout out
awesome
to
Super
Shredberg.
Meat Boy run, because this is our tribute to you, buddy. These buzzsaws are going to follow us. We got a lot of stage hazards along the way. Char's actually going to be lining up these cannons so as to not get hit by them on the way down, and carefully execute jumps at optimal times, like when the fire retreats into the pillar right there, which is actually the hitbox deactivates. That's just like so risky right there. And the risk doesn't stop here, as we need this mushroom to damage boost and carefully set up a couple of really
Close.
those buzzsaw jumps are really, really precise. Like, you need to not only jump over them, but you need to do a little spin twirl in order to decrease the momentum as you slowly descend. So let's try this again. Awesome.
There we go.
Yeah, there are so many things in this game that want to kill you. Oh, there's Bowser.
Yep,
speaking
there
of
goes
which. That's bad RNG if he jumps, so we're just going to kind of wait for him for a second. But as Bobby mentioned earlier, we do not get to carry power-ups between levels here. So I might have a power-up for a little bit, but I'm going to lose it again pretty quickly, which means we are almost always one hit away from death, which makes this a very scary speedrun, but a very fun one too. Very nice to practice, because of course we can select the levels at any point in time and sort of make things work there. Our next world is World 14, which is also going to be very short because we're going to only do 2 levels out of it. Lizzie, do you want to talk about this one first?
Yeah, so this is how I imagine would be like if Mario stumbled into a Metroidvania game, because all I can ever think about is how those bats like drop down at you from the ceiling and just like charge straight into you. There's enemies everywhere. She's got these little enemies, buzzy beetles like dropping in. This is just a metric insane amount of enemies that she has to dodge very skillfully, do an absolutely bonkers jump there that's just timed perfectly just so she can get to the end of the world.
Yeah, this one is my nemesis level. This level and I do not get along. But thankfully we were able to get through it for everyone here today. And then we'll just do 14.3 and be done with World 14, because both 14.1 and 14.4 are auto-scrollers. 14.4 being the longest auto-scroller in the game. But first, we're going to learn about a new type of obstacle called the Crusher. So this is another tutorial type level where we learn about these crushers, which retract and then expand and then try to murder you. So I'm going to pick up a mushroom because we really don't want to be dealing with them, so I'm going to damage boost through a couple of these because they are quite slow. The thing is, this first section is underwater so that you can see how they move. They do move slower when underwater than above water. The next section is where things are going to speed up and get a lot spicier because that's where they're above water, meaning they move faster. We're also going to be, and this is a dumb idea at this point in time, but we're going to be trying the checkpoint skip, so shout outs to that. Basically, when you get a checkpoint, it gives you a mushroom, and that can lose half a second. And that's time loss, so we don't really want that. If I die, though, I lose like a minute, so wish me luck.
It's
but
worth
basically,
it for
there
that
we
half
go.
a second.
Now, the beginning of this isn't too bad. It looks pretty intimidating. There's a bunch of explosions happening. The screen's shaking as the crushers hit, but this is where things get spicy. I need to land on the right side of that Goomba to make it up there without hitting anything, and that went really well. It looks
Absolutely
like I've got plenty of
stellar.
room, but oh my goodness. So there we go, successful checkpoint skip. Save that 0.5 seconds, that's speedrunning for you. And that brings us into World 15, which unfortunately starts with a terrible level.
This starts with a wonderful level. I don't know what you're
God.
talking about.
Well, then you talk about it.
Oh, I will. This is the level that I'm pretty convinced is like where we realize Charbunny is the villain in this story.
Wow.
Because she gets a Yoshi and she's going to use him for all his best qualities. He can flutter to get out these large gaps, but that's about the only time she's going to let him do that. So she's just like not letting Yoshi give all of his effort. And Yoshi can eat enemies and spawn fireballs from them, which is really awesome to just help us clear our way because that's going to be super useful. Just like she took that shell and just threw it, and all of those piranha plants are no big deal. And then she's going to just like continue all along her way, and then she's just going to leave him like he didn't help out at all.
In the pit.
How
Where
could
did
you?
That's what I'm talking about. Boo her. Let's go.
I've never been booed this much on the THQ stage.
So let's get all of those Save the Yoshi donations in so that we don't have
wait.
to, so we can't let the villain Charbunny win.
So this was going to happen at least once I accidentally picked an auto-scroller. So we're going to quit out of it and just not play that one. We're going on to 15.3 instead, which is kind of an adorable level that we're going to terrorize a bit.
It really is. This level, Mario's running through a neighborhood just being an absolute villain. Like I said, Charbunny is the villain of this story. There's all these really awesome houses that Nintendo has created in this level. All of these wonderful people that hang out in this village, they all clearly live here. And she's just like bonking them on the head, and then she's gonna jump on this car and leave some vandalism damage. Like the horn honk, she obviously did some damage. And she's just gonna like, you know, just terrorize the neighborhood on her way through.
Look, if you don't want someone to jump on your car, don't make it out of note blocks.
Chat's coming to your defense a little bit.
Oh,
We
yeah?
have a $50 donation from Zabrus who says, Charbunny is only mildly evil. Give her a break. And as an update, look, right now,
Yeah.
Kill Yoshi is still in the lead, and I'm gonna swallow my pride and say let's pause on the bid war and put all those donations towards that World 19 showcase. We're almost at 50%, and how much time do we have left in this run, Char?
Not a ton.
Not
So
a
we're on
ton
World 15.
equals focus our power and focus our energy on getting that met so we can see more amazing Charbunny.
Absolutely. Okay, we're about to try a dumb thing here. Nope, we didn't quite get the dumb thing. We're gonna try it a couple more times, though.
We got a couple.
We're
right, so-
committed now to trying dumb strats in this run.
Yeah. So in 15.4, so we're going to be aiming to do about 2 big skips. So we're going to be setting up for this one right here to where we get this mushroom because we need a damage boost. And we're going to be leading the Piranha Plant's attacks to the left and also wait for this Potaboo on the immediate right.
Oh.
200,000
Yes.
to receive before this great jump. Charbunny
Yeah.
gets it.
Great job.
And we are now this big Mario for this very next segment. We're gonna be going for more positioning tricks. So as you see, or as you not see, there's a crusher off screen to the right that we don't wanna activate right away or else it'll destroy the block lift below us, basically. Once that's done, Char's gonna set up for the next leap of faith. So just a couple more seconds, and after 2 jumps over some spike walls, a running start into a spike floor, into a big flourish where you have to hope that the chain chomp spawn at the exact positioning that you want. This is such a great trick. Let's see it. Oh my Lord!
That is
Char's favorite trick in the game.
It's so much fun. I love that one. It's very deadly though, so I'm glad we got it. And let's shout out 200K again.
Let's go,
You are
chat.
so
Hey,
Thank you.
Great job.
Host team, want to shout anything out for that one?
I do want to shout some things out. I want to do a call to action to everybody watching right now. We have a $19 donation from Banana Gons who says, long-time watcher, first-time donating, love this run so much. How about a $19 train for World 19? We're going to call for it here in just a little bit at 49 minutes. Put those $19 donations in towards the World 19 showcase, which just passed 50%. Let's get them in. We can get there. I believe in all of you.
I believe in all of you too, but you only have 3 worlds left to do it. So get those donations in now. I think it's gdq.gg/donate. And speaking of donate, we have donuts now. So Bobby, go ahead and talk about this one.
Yeah, we were supposed to learn these back in World 6, but we skipped that one. So these are pretty non-lethal obstacles that can provide a boost if landed on correctly. You kind of want to land for the middle in order to get that maximum height. If you do manage to bonk too far to the left or right, you will see it and it will kind of hurt. So either, while these are non-lethal, you see there's a pit, and in these next couple of segments, there will be some obstacles that they will potentially knock you into. This is a small lift scroller. Gonna be waiting a little bit before making these jumps on these donut obstacles and clearing that.
This level is scary because there's a ton of specific movement you're trying to do. If you land too far on top of the eyes, you don't get the right momentum, all of that. And then you go into that platform scroller at the end with one big death-defying jump, and it's like, why did they do this to us? But thankfully, the next 2 levels are pretty straightforward. We're gonna get a start and just mow down every enemy in our sight. We pick up a stiletto while doing it, though, so that's stylish. But while we're doing these next few, hosts, back over to you to hear some updates.
Absolutely, and we are at 49 minutes. And remember, our $19 donation train is gonna start taking off. But of course, if you wanna donate more for that World 19 showcase, you are welcome. Like $50 from Chris, who says, putting this all to the extra world, Charbunny is doing too well not to see World 19. However, I want to be clear, Yoshi yearns for the pit.
Thank you for that one. You got time for some more. You can do this level too.
Awesome. We've got a $19 donation from Kaylor. They're buying their ticket for that donation train. We've got a $19.10 donation from Lavender Skull. Says $19 donation train. Get on this train while you can, my friends.
Yeah, choo-choo. Get on the train. Got time for one more.
And $19 from Hover Bantha, who says $19 train. And $25 from Gorilla Fast Overachiever, saying, please, 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 I want World 19. We want it too. Let's get it done.
That must be the VIP cabin on the train.
Yeah.
I hear it's very nice in there. All right, this brings us into 16-4, which is an incredibly complex level with a lot going on. Lizzie, how about you take over on this one?
This level has so much stuff going on, including Charbunny trying to convince us that she doesn't actually need Yoshi. So she's gonna go ahead and start here and do a ground pound so that she gets just enough height to get up onto this ledge where she's gonna run, drop down, and then she's gonna set up a triple jump so that she can skip or have enough momentum to get all the way up here by skipping all of those large mushroom platforms. There's some conveyors here that will like to fling you a left and right and off to the side, so by ground pounding there, she stops all that momentum and gets down there super quickly. She does a couple triple jumps here just to make her way through, and then some more wall jumps all the way up to the top, and then she's gonna get a shellmet, which is gonna be super important here later in the level, so she's gonna try her hardest to keep it. Once we make it up through this pipe, then she's gonna come down and we're gonna see Yoshi, and she's gonna wave goodbye to him and try and do a pow drop so that she has a platform to stand here on and make it all the way over without using the spike. So unfortunately, she has achieved her goal of not actually needing to use Yoshi.
Yay!
But if she had not made that pow drop, Yoshi was waiting in the wings in a secret area, so he was ready to take the stage and be like the savior of the level. So he needs to be saved. Even when he's not needed, he's just like, I want to be there just in case. So she's gonna drop this bomb over here, which is gonna open up the way. But while she waits for this missile launcher to drop, she's gonna go ahead and head up screen, and she's gonna go into this big boss fight. And this is where things get really dicey because Bowser is gonna be throwing fireballs. There's gonna be potaboos coming up from the floor below, and there's gonna be those two guys that Hammer Bros that are tossing hammers and jumping, which can freeze her in place. So she's gonna get as close as she can without actually touching Bowser, so that she can get off as many fireballs as quickly as possible, just high DPS, standing in these super dangerous spots to make it through the stage.
There you go. that was a pretty good job on the backup strat. What I tried to do at first is duck and go underneath Bowser, but he jumped. It is RNG whether or not you can do that trick, and Bowser decided to do the 30% that was less fun. But we got a bonus Bowser fight, which is always kind of exciting. We'll see a few more of those in 18-4. But that brings us into the second to last world of the game. Please stop scrolling screen. Second to last world of the game. We're now in world 17. This one starts off with kind of a fun one. Bobby, do you want to take this?
Yeah, this is a little bit of like a this or that level. So there are multiple paths thrown throughout the stage, and we're aiming to mostly hit the fastest, not necessarily like the hardest. So if you know the layout of the stage, you can utilize obstacles like these stacks of spinies to quickly advance to the next section. For the slower route, you would hit these question blocks. It would spit out an item for you, and you can complete it that way. And we're gonna use Char's concussion technique to be a little bit faster throughout this area. And with a big flourish,
Real quick, I want to cut in and say we are past $10,000 towards that incentive.
Nice.
The train is moving along. Keep it coming,
train.
chat. We love you.
Thank you so much, everyone. I really want to show those off. I was practicing them all morning. I really hope we can see those.
Yep.
That'd be so much fun.
Do you have time for a couple donations?
Yeah, go for it.
We got $19 from Wayward saying, don't forget incentive.
That's right. Scroll down when you're banking these donations and put it towards this World 19 showcase. We also have a $19 ticket from Ellie Face.
And a $19 ticket from Kara's a Mime with less than 3.
A $19 ticket from Harvest Soup.
$19 from Bus Driver Ba, who says World 19.
And a $19 ticket from RNG Rabbit that says, let's see more Charbunny. Do you want to see more Charbunny, chat?
Let's go.
Thank you so much, everyone. I am so excited with all the love pouring in. Lizzie, do you want to talk about dry bones? We're kind of murdering them.
Yeah, we're kind of murdering them. See, I never knew that you could actually kill dry bones. I thought you just had to jump on them, sort of delay their way, and make your way through just past them. But it turns out that this level is all about the various ways that in Mario Maker, at least, you can kill dry bones. In this case, she's going to grab that bomb, do a half jump through so that she can clear out the spiny guy, grab the bomb again, and then she's headed up to go ahead and try and make her way through this exit because there are hidden blocks there because this is Mario Maker. So she makes her way up the pipe, and then she's going to use the last key that she has hanging around from one of the rooms where she was killing dry bones and make her way out of the level.
There we go. Nicely, the gold tape cycle lines up perfectly with the end of the level, so we just get to run through to the ending. But that is a pretty scary one, because if you don't time that bomb correctly, it can blow you up. It is friendly fire is enabled in the Mario universe. All right, continuing with World 17. Got to get out of this one, get into our next level here. What are we up to? This is the problem, is like they don't load in right away. There we go. Oh, this is the everything blows up level. Oh gosh, okay. So this level is about the cloud items. The cloud item would let you fly around similar to a Koopa Clown car. Actually very similar to a Koopa Clown car, but we're only going to use it a little bit. So the first thing we need to do is open up this pipes they spawn in, and I want to keep a pixel of that pipe on the left side of my screen so that one actually pops out. Then I've got to deal with this Hammer Brother RNG, so I'm going to use a bomb to explode a way in, and then use another one to kill it as we get this key. Here is the only time we use the cloud. Ooh, look, it goes upward. It's so exciting. Okay, we're done. That was it. And the thing is, in this next section, there's a bunch of bombs floating in midair that are going to blow up all of the terrain we could be standing on. If we go fast enough, they don't blow up any terrain, which is very helpful. But if we make any mistakes, this becomes a very treacherous segment. So very important to have your route down, have all your strats lined up so you can get there before the level has time to do anything bad to you.
Less than 4,000 to go on that World 19 incentive. Keep it coming.
You're almost there.
Let's
Do
go.
this. Thank you so much, everyone. I am so excited. I really want to show off that 6-second level. It's my favorite one in the game and the first one that got me on the leaderboard. Just random Char history in here. Our next level is going to be another platform scroller. We're going to have a jump at the end. I'm also going to be standing still for most of it, which will look like I'm just standing still, which is also true. But the key thing here is that I am manipulating enemy spawns by controlling where the screen is at. So I look like I'm being lazy. I promise this is thoughtful speedrunning. But while I'm literally standing still for a minute, host, back over to you.
We got so many tickets for this train. Lunatic Turtle, $19 train, choo-choo.
And we got a ticket from Adam Meatball who says, more Mario, please.
And $19 from Jobert, $19 train.
$19 from Haliox who says, saluting 07.
From Aeroplanes, 1 ticket, World 19, hype.
And Fumo Fu says, that's right,
Yeah.
hype for this $19 train ticket from Fumo Fu says, love to Charbunny and Lizzyberry from Frame Fatales, and love to Bobby from the Bloodstained community.
And for the first class car, $25 from B Candy, who says there once was a plumber in red. Through all of the levels he sped. He liked perfect runs, and to get this one done, he has one choice. Kill Yoshi dead.
Bars. Bars.
In spite of the poem, I'm putting this towards World 19. Thank you so much.
That's right, just like sacrificing our love for Yoshi, we want to sacrifice those donations and put them towards World 19 so we can see more Mario.
See more Mario. That would be so much fun. That's a good wahoo from the crowd there. All right, this one is another throwback level. It has ice physics. Ooh. But the thing is, if you never try to turn around, the ice never does anything. Because if we just keep running to the right, the ice is like, yeah, sure, I'm okay with that. And we can just do a jump here. First swag, kill an enemy on the way through. That's not necessary, but why not? Kind of a fun way to finish things off. The next level is all about conveyor belts. And essentially, if the conveyor is moving left, I jump. If the conveyor is moving right, I don't jump. I land on it and try to ride it to the end. We will try to skip one power-up on the way over to save some time, but honestly, I kind of just want to keep hearing some donations because I know that they're coming in. So, hosts, what do you got?
Well, we've got, I think, 10 and change tickets to that $19 donation train from Bill, who says, I'm here for World 19. Hopefully this counts as my ticket for the dono train. Choo-choo.
2 tickets from Carla Lion, who says 2 tickets for the $19 train, please. Greetings from Germany.
By the way, we are now less than 3,000 away. Keep it going. We're almost there, 80%. I know we can do it.
Okay.
This train has got to catch up to Char, though, because she is fast.
And speaking of greetings from Germany, shout outs to Uwume, who's doing the German restream. You're awesome. Fellow community member locking that one down. Our next level is all about boos and how many different ways you can use them. So if you want to donate and give me boo puns, I desperately need them because I don't know what to talk about otherwise. The big thing here is if you look to the right, then the boo will sort of follow you. This is similar to some of the mechanics from Rabbids Go Home, which you saw earlier today. So kind of a fun throwback there. Here we're going to damage boost and use that to clear through this line of boos. You could use the boot instead. A boot will bounce you off of boos, but that is not something we need to do in this level because it is quite a bit slower. These enemies are called stretches. They go along the bottom of the screen and try to chase us down, but if we jump fast enough, it'll spawn in just behind us and never quite catch us. And then finally, we have boo rings, which rotate around a fixed point. They do move left, though, as they get toward the end of the level, so as long as I bonk into the goalpost, we're good to go. They're never going to touch us.
Less than 2,500 left.
Yes, oh, we're getting there so soon. All right, our next level, unfortunately, involves Yoshi again.
Yeah, Yoshi.
So Lizzie, how about you talk to us about 17.8?
Yeah, 17.8 is the one where Char has to admit that I'm right and that Yoshi needs to be saved because she's going to use Yoshi in very important ways. She's going to grab that fireball and then she's going to run along these spikes because Yoshi has magic shoes. And she's going to keep this fireball and throw it off right there and then race those fireballs, proving that Yoshi is fast so that she can the fire set off all of these bombs off to the right, and now she's going to go ahead and get back on Yoshi, and she's going to go ahead and make her way continuing to the right, and she's going to head past all of these dry bones, go ahead and eat all of these enemies here along the way because Yoshi just helps protect her, and then she's just going to make her way to the end. It's no big deal. Yoshi is absolutely necessary. Let's save Yoshi.
Don't need to save Yoshi. He's not necessary. In the IL, you don't use him. Now, you only get the IL 1 out of every 16 tries, but you don't technically need Yoshi. And that brings us into our final world. We are now on World 18, so make sure you get your donations in ASAP if you want to see that bonus world and keep this going. 18.1 is the return of more super dumb strats that may take multiple tries. Bobby, over to you.
Yeah, less than 1,000 left for the World 19 showcase. We are almost there. Bring it home.
All right, so for 18.1, this world, the stages just get super long. So 2 really important pieces of movement tech called the blooper ladder here. Setting up a triple jump, and hopefully, yes, this is exactly what she needed.
We met the World 19 showcase! Yeah! You're going to see World 19!
Let's go, with World 19. Thank you very much, chat.
Great job.
Let's go, everyone. Thank you so much. That's incredible. I'm so excited.
I'm excited for this segment because we get to play some Clown Car Auto, some Grand Theft Auto right here.
Clown Car Auto.
So, we're jumping in the air, increases the speed from the Clown Car, but we're going to be kind of jacking this Clown Car along the way in very, really nice fashion. And
Let me through.
Please.
No, okay, we eventually get to go through. This is fine. We're not going to do the next thing, though. So normally I could try to steal another car and just ruin everyone's day and just become the biggest thief the Mushroom Kingdom's ever seen. But you do need the Fire Flower for that. Thankfully, we get the Fire Flower. It gives us a lot of safety in this level so we can do a lot of mechanics that are a little bit trickier to do otherwise. This is the worst stair in the history of the game. What stair is that? Who builds their stairs that way? But anyway, we're past that. This brings us into 18.2. We are getting really close to the end of the Yoshi bid war, so I want to check in. How are we doing on that? Is Kill the Yoshi? Please tell me Kill the Yoshi.
Kill the Yoshi is ahead with $2,000 to $1,700 safe.
It's only $300 difference?
There's only a
Come on,
$300
Jeff,
difference, though. I think we can close it.
No,
That's
no,
within reach. You can save Yoshi.
But we have an amazing, huge donation if you'd love to hear
Yes,
it.
please do.
We have $1,900
Whoa.
from Squishy Flan. Spent a year going through cancer treatment and beat a couple months ago. So please help me know if I did this donate train correctly. Thank you so much and congratulations.
I think with that, you own the train now. That was so generous.
You own the train.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Oh, and congratulations on beating cancer. That's fantastic. Can we get a round of applause for beating cancer, please?
Yeah.
That was so amazing. All right, 18.3 is a fun level because it has a lot of RNG, but not from where you'd expect. So the first source of RNG, vertical pipes in a Mario game, please. The first source of RNG is this pipe here. That was a fast pattern, yay! It saves enough time, but it's faster. The next source of RNG is going to be whether Bowser goes left or right. Sorry, Bowser Jr. So, crowd, do you think he's gonna go left?
Left.
Okay, what about right? Oh, pretty even split here. We'll see who's right. Put your guesses in chat now. We'll have to find out. It is complete 50-50 as far as I can tell which direction he goes. So here we go. Drum roll. Where is Bowser Jr. going to go? He went to the left. If you chose left, you win. This is unfortunately the slow pattern, but that's okay. At least some of you out there were winners, even if I wasn't.
I don't know. I sense a lot of discontentment in the audience here.
So this section level is a mini platform scroller. So we've got a platform, but because we have the boot, we do get to walk on top of spikes. So I can just kind of go down here, hop up to the right, and get all these coins without having to actually do any of these mechanics. This is great too, because on a conveyor belt, normally it slows you down, but the boot jumps every frame, so it never affects us. And here's our first Magic Koopa. We are going to do a really difficult strat of hold the right button. We did it. Good job. This was slightly trickier, but the funny thing is, this level has Magic Koopas. It introduces them, and they are the most random enemy in the entire game. But if we do everything correctly, just like this, boop, we got him, we don't ever see the randomness. Now, if you mess up that room, you now have 3 randomly moving Magic Koopas with a whole bunch of chaos going around all over the place. It's an absolute nightmare. We are like seconds away from closing off that Yoshi bid war as well, by the way. So last chance to get donations in when I start the next level. That's about when we close it off. I'll call for it so everyone can hear when it's closed, but
there's only a couple $100 separating them, so get those donations in to save it. You can do it. You can do it.
Make sure Kill stays in the lead. Make sure Kill stays in the lead.
No, save needs to be in the lead.
No, other way around. Kyle.
Absolutely not. $19 from Ratskedaddle saying, why are peaches Yoshi's favorite fruit? Because he yearns for the pit.
That's so good. All right, when I kill the next Bowser, I'm making it audible. That's when we're going to cut off the bid war. I am going to try to kill him fast because, speed running, so not a lot of time. The key thing with this level, oh, hi, gaming. The key thing here is we're going to try to get the fire and fire kill this small Bowser here. It's a pain because he's pretty dangerous. He's going to do a lot of random Bowser things and try to kill us. But if we jump over him, it makes it harder for him to keep up. He doesn't have a good pivot, so we can make some progress. Please close the bid war now, donations team. All right, now we have to beat large Bowser, which is much more difficult. But the nice thing is he's kind of like a T-Rex, where his arms are a little too short to hit us and his fire is a little bit too high to actually run into our heads. The key thing is we want to stay as close to him as possible, which is scary because if you hit him, you lose your fire flower. But it does optimize our thing. You can see when I'm firing fireballs there, I have to wait. But the closer I am to Bowser, the faster, up to jump here, the faster I can spam them. Can I get it before he jumps again? Yes, let's go. Okay,
nice.
Bowser killed. Ooh, so that's a fun one. That's the most intensive Bowser fights in the game because we don't actually fight the final Bowser. He just isn't required. And we're doing any percent, so why bother with that? But with our next level, we're going to get a cape, do a classic flying over the level. It looks really easy for how late in the run it is, and it is easy. But the key thing is it's a very complex level to create, and keep in mind that this game is also about creating levels and introducing level mechanics and ideas. But while we're soaring over this and you watch the shell at the bottom do all the work while I just kind of cruise in the sky, let's see, what was the final call for save or kill the Yoshi?
I really am watching. Maybe it'll switch.
It is not
You have 5 seconds to see if it switches.
5, 4, 3, 2, kill!
Yes! We're killing the Yoshi. Let's go. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, friends.
Now let's
Raising all
see
that money
those
for
friends.
PCF.
Sometimes you gotta kill what you love to go fast.
How much did we raise for PCF on saving or killing one dinosaur, by the way? I'm really curious.
Kill Yoshi was over $2,000, $2,054, and Save Yoshi was $1,908. So much money raised, almost $4,000 for PCF.
Thank you so much for that generosity.
Thank you for playing along, chat.
Great job, chat.
All right, so this is a platform scroller, but we're not going to play the platform scroller part. This is the one where we just kind of jump into the sky. Am I going to hit that? I did not hit that. we're gonna do this again because I just wanted to talk about it more. That was just a bonus Yoshi death for all of you who donated for it. All right, so this is a platform scroller, and normally what you're supposed to do is stay on this platform the entire level, but with Yoshi's magical feet, we can actually walk on top of saws. Now, saws act like donuts if you have Yoshi, which makes this whole thing pretty treacherous, but it does mean we can skip the platform and just not use it for the entire rest of the level. The downside is if I miss any of these jumps like you saw earlier, I fall into a pit. There's nothing I can do about that. And if I hit any of these saws, Yoshi will run away from me, ditch me, and then we're gone. But bye, Yoshi! Goodbye! You go in a pit. Thank you again, everyone, for donating. And to everyone who donated to Save the Yoshi, thank you as well. But you were wrong. So let's go ahead and keep going. This is going to be our final level in this run, except for World 19, because thanks for donating for that. But it's so large, there's so much going on, all three of us are going to commentate it. I'll start first by talking about the movement in the beginning section. So this first section is quizzing you on, did you learn how items work? The first thing we're going to need is a shell to break open a block at the bottom of the screen and access the lower pipe in this level. Sorry if I talk fast on this one, there's a lot going on, I'll do my best. With this, we need to go get a POW. The POW is going to destroy some munchers up in the top left room, but in order to get it, we want to go just around this corner, do a wall jump for extra speed, and we need to jump over the pipe, otherwise the POW won't spawn. By tossing the spring to the left, we can also immediately get back up into the pipe at the top of the screen. We're going to take this POW again to the top left room, and in this room, we want to do a wall jump to get up to that platform as soon as possible. So I'm going to let go of run, immediately grab it, a little bit low there, and we're going to go across this area. Here I'm trying to dodge the donut or the note block because that would put us too high in the air, slow us down. In the bottom section, not only are we going to get a spring this time, but we're going to try to do spring wall jumps. This is a Kaizo tech where normally you can't wall jump with an item, but if you throw the item, then wall jump, then pick it back up again really quickly like that, you can actually take this out of the room without doing the intended strap. But now we're getting into an even dumber trick, so Bobby, over to you.
Yeah, it's going to be a variation of what Char just did, but a bit more complicated. And the item rotations just simply do not stop here. We'll be doing this to, oh my lord, first try!
Let's go.
Off the wall into the midair. We're going to be going down this pipe to grab this fire flower to make way for us to do this really specific jump when we come out of this pipe. But we just could be having to play this stage as normally, grab this fire flower, wall jump on the way up, and set up for this oncoming trick. We'll be making a little bit of space, and through this ground pound, hopefully we can...
I gotta get in this gap first, it's a little tight.
Gap, ground pound, and there we go. And now we have the propeller, which we were going to hopefully will spill out soon. But we really need to make this a perfect cycle because like we can only have this kind of like pattern on the saws once. So going over and under, that like first try, that is amazing, Char.
Thank you.
Now, Lizzie, we got bosses coming up next.
We do have bosses. We have Bowser Jr., and what she's going to do is damage boost / jump on Bowser Jr., and then she's going to go ahead and just jump on him a couple more times to clear him out. I want to remind everyone that Charbunny is the villain here because she beats Bowser Jr., and then she's just going to go try and run past Bowser himself and just not even bother with it.
Time is coming up soon, by the way. Time is soon.
So she grabs the clown car, she shoots a way through, and then she's going to get under Bowser and out of the world.
That is a lot of Mario levels. I'm glad we're able to showcase this for
That was a lot of you talking. Are you okay? Breathe.
I'm good, I promise. All right, so thank you, everyone. That is the Super Mario SMC any % no auto if I get my own category correct. But we do have, I believe, a bonus incentive. Host, you remind me, we did meet that, correct?
We sure did, with raising over $16,000. We overshot by all those tickets. Give yourselves a big round of applause for meeting that chat and crowd here in Pittsburgh. Thank you for all that money raised for PCF.
That was so much fun. All right, do you want to get a quick donation in before we jump into here?
Absolutely. I'm still a little sad that we killed Yoshi, but this makes me feel a little better. This expertise donation from David Mushroomborough with $50. They say, the Yoshi is a remarkable creature. See how graceful he is as he soars through the air to reach the tallest of mushrooms. His natural habitat is in the pit. Thus, when a Yoshi is abandoned by his rider, he thrives in what to many would be the darkest depths of despair. Thank you so much for that kind donation.
And we also have a little love from Kotatsu
beautiful.
Voyager buying a ticket to that train saying, nothing but respect for my favorite villainess, Charbunny.
Thank you so much. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and get into World 19. So World 19 is the bonus world in this game. Normally you don't play it in any %, you only do it for individual levels. But I found out some marathon strats to bring it to you all today. There are 12 levels total, but we're going to be doing 5 of them because some of them are auto-scrollers again. We're not going to touch those. But I picked the 5 that I think are the most exciting. Fun fact, Bobby hasn't seen these yet. I hid them from him. We kept them secret, so we'll see what he thinks of them as we go through. So time will start when I begin our first level here, which is going to be 19-2. This is the one where it's 6 seconds long. It's supposed to be a minute and a half. It might take a few tries, but we'll get it there. So time begins in 3. Okay, actually, crowd, help me count this one out. I think I got you guys last time. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go! All right, so the goal here is just jump really well, and we'll see if we can get to the end. So I gotta get here, past this muncher, or past that enemy. There we go, first try!
Hey!
6 seconds in-game time, 494 out of 500 seconds. That is the fastest level. No level in the game can be completed faster than that. So that's just a really fun one to kick things off with. With that, our next level is going to be another fairly speedy one, because this is the only level in the game where the game is actually trying to scare you. This is the only level that starts with less than 100 seconds on the in-game timer, so we get the hurry up music the whole time. Now, if you think back to level 2-4, that's when we were learning about P-switches and we could use them to create ground optionally. This level, we are required to. The ground is not solid unless a P-switch is active, so if we miss any of these P-switch touches, we fall in and die. Thankfully, as speedrunners, this isn't too bad, because guess what? We're used to going through levels quickly, but we're also gonna do some skips at the end of this level to try to make a little bit of a shortcut. See, at the end of this level, there's a whole bunch of bricks that will form a wall if a P-switch is active, and what if we just didn't do that and just tried to jump where the coins were instead? This section we do have to wait slightly. Look, we get a nice slow shell and then jump scare shell. Watch out for that one. Seriously, Mario's sometimes a horror game and it's fantastic. So here we go. The big thing here is if we're going to pull off this strat, we need to not touch one of the P-switches. So we will activate this first one, otherwise we can't make any progress. But we're gonna see one up here that is just kind of tucked into the ground, and what we do is we jump over it. So now I'm on a timer where the ground is gonna disappear beneath my feet, and I better jump before that happens. Now we need to do these 2 jumps here, make sure that we land on everything. Oh, barely got that level. And that skips the entire ending of that level. We don't have to do any navigation.
Needle, oh my lord.
That was close, that was a little sketchy, but we got it. All right, 3 levels to go. So for these next few, our next one is going to, actually, where are we going next? So I'm gonna wait and load these in so I make sure I hit the right one. Okay, 9-8. So we had one back in 17-1 that was a couple choices through the level. This is the sequel to that, where essentially there's multiple paths through each of these sections, and you can either get a key and go through a door, which is what we'll do here, or you can skip the door, which is what we'll do next. And you can pick up a key. So this level is a nightmare to route. I have like a 200-line spreadsheet trying to figure that out. But here we're just gonna jump up there instead. This one we are gonna take, oh, nope, we're gonna run into that enemy. They're just in such an evil spot. It is a very tight window to land on the right side of one platform to avoid the blue enemy and jump high enough to get around the red enemy. So you'll see this again. The alternate strat through this section is to fall down that pit and very carefully spin, or use the shell to activate a vine that would let you climb down more easily. Here, if you go in the door, obviously you don't have to do thwomp skin spins, but we're just gonna do, I'm just gonna wait for him. Hi, have a good day today. We'll go through this door. Chain jump is RNG. It can either go left or right. We want it to go right. No, of course not. Why would the chain jump be nice to us? Nothing in this game is going the direction we asked it to. Here are the next Magic Koopas that we're gonna see. Ideally, we don't get hit by anything and we just sort of activate this P-switch and move on, because once the P-switch is active, remember we stole this from an earlier section, we can just skip on out of here. Otherwise, you'd be waiting for the Magic Koopas to destroy those blocks in order to make progress. Dodge all the flying fish. Nope, we didn't dodge the flying fish. Oh my goodness, this is rough today. All right, good thing we have enough time in our estimate to do this again. There are no checkpoints in this level, by the way. When you get this far in, the game starts to assume that you actually know how to play Mario and just doesn't make this any easier. So we'll try this again, get the keys. Again, with every one of these, okay, that was just my bad. Can I get some encouragement? I'm clearly like,
let's go, Char.
Make some noise for Charbunny, y'all.
Let's go.
Actually, let's get some donations as well while we go back through this section again.
Absolutely, nothing to get you going like some anonymous poetry, $5 saying, there once was a man from Mushroom Land who had a dino as his right hand, but when stuck in a bind, he'd leave his friend behind as if the betrayal were planned.
That was a very nice poem.
We've also got another limerick coming in, 519 from Mighty Squeaks, who says, a kill Yoshi limerick. The green dino we all know and love must fall from the sky up above. The Yoshis, they yearn, donations we earn, and off a cliff, Yoshi we shove.
I love how creative people are with rhyming with Yoshi. Oh, the chain jump went the right direction this time. Shout out to chain jumps. All right, okay, so now we need to just not get hit by the fish. The fishes are tricky because you do get really close to them, and if you bounce off of them like what I did, that's not what I'm expecting to have happen, so you can fly into the next one. So what we'll do is we'll do a twirl this time. That'll play it just a little bit safer. So if I twirl, they'll definitely be out of my way before I get to the door. This is just one of those like micro-optimization strats again. It's like not twirling is faster, but you can see the danger it gets you into. Here is Yoshi for everyone who wanted to save the Yoshi. He's back. And I'm gonna get rid of him again, and he's just gonna run down there, and we'll never see him again. Bye. Sorry, Yoshi is very helpful. Unfortunately, we do use him to damage boost there and get our final key. But that brings us to the end of this sort of multiple choice quiz level, which is very nice because I was struggling a bit. But we got through it. That is the route through the level for marathon safety.
You got there.
Thank you. All right, our next level, I believe, is the spring one. The spring one is going to be a bit of an adventure. So if you remember all the way back to World 5, we learned all about springs, saw them all over the place, but what we didn't see is the springs stacked on top of each other. Now what this creates is an interesting little enemy elevator where the enemies will fly out of these pipes at a much higher speed than you'd otherwise expect them to. So for this part of the level, it's important that I stay on the green mushrooms and move quickly so that those things don't come flying at me. But that brings us to more stacked springs and more danger because I can stand on top of these, get a small little movement boost there, but I can also try to dodge through them. So this is one of the most precise jumps in the game that I'm about to do here, where if I duck jump, I can just barely get underneath one platform and on top of the next one. It's very easy to bonk your head there. Now we're not done because we have to go across a pit, which would be a platform scroller. We're supposed to stay on this and sort of collect springs along the way. But what if we just didn't do that and did a bunch of really scary jumps instead? Oh, that's scary. Almost saved it. This is why it's scary. So the first few jumps in this section aren't too bad. That one is really tricky. Thankfully, we have a checkpoint in this level. That one is really tricky because what you're looking at is trying to get up to a spring that is too tall. And in order to get to that spring, I cannot be jumping from a standing position. So when you run, you actually get, okay, that's fine too. I got too excited about all the spring jumps. So when you get to that position, one thing that's important is that you actually need to have some running speed in order to get high enough up on the stage to be able to make that jump work. If I am standing still, I will not have enough jump height. And as you can see, I was just a little bit short on that first attempt, so I ended up running into it instead. So these ones are all pretty free. This one is the get speed, duck, and then make it up. Now we are going to jump in midair. I'm looking at a specific spot to land here, and we have to wait for this Koopa to come back down. We are not supposed to be doing this. We are supposed to be waiting for a whole bunch of other platforms, but if we time this right, we can make it out of here without having to do any of the platform scrolling parts of this section. Gold tape is right here, and we're good to go. All right, now we've had some chaos so far, but we're about to do 1911, I believe is the number, because this is the other level that has Magic Koopas. Now we're going to still try to skip them as much as possible, but something important about Magic Koopas is they can use their magical powers to destroy blocks, and we're gonna have some vertical walls of blocks in this level that we really wanna make it through. So we're gonna actually try to do a couple ways of getting through that. One is going to be Magic Koopas, another one is gonna be bringing a shell with us. Of course, first we have to get to that point in the stage, so here I've gotta do some pretty careful jumps to get on top of here, up to here, and not slow down as I'm going through this wave of fish. Oh, nope, we're gonna be in the wave of fish. This is, I hate flying fish today. I might hate flying fish more than Yoshi right now, which is saying something. All right, so we're gonna set this up again, go ahead and get through. With this one, the next thing we're gonna be doing is I am just triple jumping all over the place. We're gonna go a little bit safer and just make sure I can make it through these sections. There we go, and now I'm tall enough that the fish should not be able to hit me. The next thing I need to do is pick up a shell. We're gonna need to use the shell to create a gap in a wall. It is only gonna be 1 block wide, which is gonna be a little tricky to get through, but if we duck jump as Tall Mario, we can still make it happen. There we are, now we're Tall Mario. It's like, we're not Tall Mario, what am I missing? But it's the checkpoint gives us Tall Mario, which is what we need to damage boost through a later section. The thing is, the shell is on a bit of a timer. The Koopa wants to come back out and play, so I need to be throwing it here before it wakes up in order to make it through this gap. So there's our first Magic Koopa, would have been in the pipe. I guess you don't even get to see it, I was too fast, haha for it. But here's our next one. We're gonna manipulate it. So I'm gonna face to the right so the Magic Koopa shoots magic to the right of me, which is the direction we wanna go. Now I wanna face left because I don't want it in my way and I don't want it firing in the direction I'm aiming. Now I'm gonna move, use this to get through and not get hit by the giant firefish, and time is going to be when I hit the gold tape here. Now, importantly, you cannot slow down in this section. See this Magic Koopa here? Time? He can vanish the flagpole if you go too slow.
Oh, no.
So we made it through. There was World 19, not quite as clean as I'd hoped, but hopefully that was still enough to thank you all for donating $16,000 to the Prevent Cancer Foundation to make that showcase happen. And again, thank you to everyone donating throughout the run. Final shout outs from me. Thank you so much to Palongsi, Juice ACD, some other runners of the community. Pango5 helped me clean up the strats for this run, so thank you so much. Uwumi again on the German restream. Obviously my family, who's been super supportive about me playing 3DS games all through the holiday break. The Fatals community, shout out to Frey Fatals, you all are awesome. To my wonderful couch, thank you so much for being here. To you in the crowd, you were wonderful. Thank you so much for your help, and to all of you watching at home. Couch, any shout outs from you too before we wrap this up?
I got nothing.
Oh,
All right.
You pointed this out to me, so yeah, I'm going to be doing a speed run of Resident Evil Deadly Silence on Wednesday morning, so hopefully you folks can catch it. But thank you very much for having me on this commentary. To be completely honest, I don't play Mario, but I love Mario Maker. I love learning the mechanics throughout this entire run. I love chopping it up with these two and really handed it off incredibly well. You did incredible for your first time on commentary.
Good.
So thank you very much.
Yeah, first time on commentary for Lizzie and GDQ. Can we get a round of applause for that? That was great. All right, well, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to our wonderful hosts, Kyle and Sam, did wonderfully. And hey, I think it's back to you. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.
Can we get